So the chapter spoilers from chapter 342 of My Hero Academia came out, and here we are to discuss them. And so the chapter begins with two civilians inside UA passing a message between each other that All for One is back giving orders. He asked them to create an uprising of some kind involving the refugees who still doubt the heroes. Shigaraki apparently should be ready in less than a week, and they need to make sure Midoriya gets out of UA once more. In the dorms, we see the students returned, exhausted from patrol. Ida's new uniform allows his mask to disassemble automatically, and he tells them how important it is that they are out on the streets helping the professionals. That there is no time to complain or to rest. And Deku comments internally that he wanted at least some time to talk about something, and he looks at Uraraka. He is distressed that he hasn't been able to properly thank her yet. All Might then arrives at the dorms accompanied by Tsukuyuchi and Nezu, and Momo asks if they came to give news about Ayoma, and Tsukuyuchi confirms, and All Might says he also has one more matter, one that only a small group of people can know about. They will discuss Plan B for the final battle. Next, we see a montage with several characters. Hawks, Ragdoll, Endeavor, and Genus are talking in a destroyed room. Endeavor looks at a pad of papers and he makes a sad face. Aizawa is in the hospital and watching Kirogiri. Ayoma is in his cell and the students are listening to what All Might has to say. In one of my most recent videos, I actually discussed the concept that Aizawa will fight Kirogiri, especially after Kirogiri breaks out, which I think is inevitable. As we know, he's really central to the villain's whole plan and the way they maneuver, so it only makes sense that All for One will bust them out. Additionally, we knew already that Class B would play an active role within this final part of the story. It wouldn't make any sense for all the exposition this past season and within the story arcs for Class B to not play an active role and fight alongside our heroes at Class 1A and the professionals. I have no idea what Endeavor and the rest of the heroes are talking about, but given that Endeavor made a sad face, I can only speculate that maybe perhaps they got some more information regarding Dabi. We are literally currently just being teased about all these fights to come, and I am all here for it. The next day, the refugees are discussing an announcement the principal made earlier. He said that Shigaraki must start moving in just 4 days. The civilian from earlier in the chapter who was passing the message from All for One looks shocked. Class A is about to leave UA and thanks everyone, and Koda asks if Deku is really leaving and he confirms, saying that he has rested enough to get all the mud off. Snipe says that everyone's safety is their priority and asks them to remain calm even if the UA barrier gets activated. The infiltrator thinks this is stupid and that the best thing to do would be for the heroes to stay in UA, but he is satisfied that the order to send Midoriya out has been fulfilled somehow. So it seems that these two civilians inside UA, I'm really curious what their role is within the story, but it seems that their mission is literally already fulfilled by Midoriya leaving UA, but I guess we can't expect the heroes to wait for the fight to come to them. They have to actively try to pursue and stop the League of Villains. As All Might once said, they need to target them all individually. We then see a sequence of panels of the students saying goodbye, showing Inko, the Todorokis, Bakugo and Jiro's parents, Eri, and even the giant lady shaking hands with Shoji. The class goes to a facility located 30 kilometers from UA called Troy. It was built by Cementos, Power Loader, and Ectoplasm, and is much like the dormitories with everyone having their own room. I'm not sure how familiar y'all are with the Trojan War and the city of Troy, but within the Trojan War, they actually brought in a Trojan horse as seemingly a gift into the city of Troy, and it was a hollow horse, and in fact, that's how they infiltrated the city of Troy. So this Trojan horse, it seems innocuous at first, and it seems truly like a gift, but the horse in and of itself was a guise in order to get inside the walls and thereby have a surprise attack on the city of Troy. So I doubt that Horikoshi is randomly just using the word Troy without knowing its context prior. So perhaps that could be some type of foreshadowing that there could be another traitor at hand, or in fact that something innocuous, something that seems like it's going to be helpful to the heroes, could in fact be the downfall of them all. Most notably, I think this could be in the form of Toga. As we know, Toga can transform into other people, and perhaps she could be within the walls of Troy without any of our heroes knowing. Deku then looks out the window and sees that Uraraka is alone outside, so he jumps out and goes to meet her. After asking if she is done emptying her bags, he thanks her for the speech she gave. She says that she didn't do anything too big and that he's making a big deal out of something small, as he always does. He asks why she was alone outside, and she says she is watching the city. A moment of silence follows, and she says she thinks she's strange, and Deku disagrees vehemently, citing several of her good points: her strength, courage, kindness, and even her hairstyle. Uraraka is embarrassed and asked him to stop. She thinks she is strange because at that moment when she was speaking at the top of UA, she remembered Toga, when they faced each other during Gigantomachia Stampede. Uraraka told her what she considered right, but Toga only replied with a sad expression. She understands that the destroyed city she now observes is a consequence of the actions of villains like Toga, but she feels uncomfortable not knowing what her point of view is. She says that looking at the city is a way to remember all this evil, so that she won't think about these things and do something stupid. Deku says he understands her because he saw a young boy crying inside Shigaraki. Even though confrontation is inevitable, he doesn't want to ignore that side. Uraraka looks at him, reflects, and says that in this case, the two of them are quite strange. Again, with one of my most recent videos, I discussed the fact that Uraraka will parallel Deku, both of them with the propensity to save. I believe that Uraraka will save Toga, and that Deku will save Shigaraki within these final battles. Although both of them are evil, I think they are redeemable characters, and it will be a true testament to the type of hero that Uraraka and Deku are striving to be if they're able to save them. With this interaction, it also pushes the Deku-Uraraka agenda, and I'm all here for it. I think Horikoshi's really setting them up to kind of show their relationship prior to the end of the story, because, you know, at the end of the story, everyone wants a happy ending, and the happy ending could be for Deku to not only become the #1 hero, but to also be with Uraraka, another fellow hero. Bakugo, Ida, and Kirishima go to Todoroki's room, and he thanks them for their concern, but says he is fine. Ida comments that because he has an older brother, he understands Shoto's pain a little, but Shoto himself says it must have been much heavier for him because he and Tensei are close. Shoto himself didn't even know what Toya liked, and Bakugo jokes that it's probably hot udon, and Todoroki smiles, saying that if that's the case, they can eat it together. He ends by saying they will stop Toya for sure, and we see a glimpse of Deku and Uraraka watching the city once more. The chapter ends with All For One holding a communicator and saying let's get started, and the narration informs day of the plan starts today. So before we get to what All For One had to say, Todoroki says he will eat the hot udon with Toya. So perhaps that implies that Todoroki believes that Toya is someone he will be able to save as well. So perhaps in this final arc, really all these people are going to be aimed to be saved. Todoroki's family drama, Uraraka and Toga, Deku and Shigaraki. Although I don't see it playing out as simplistic as that, I think there's going to be a lot more death. I think a lot of these characters are unable to be redeemed. Perhaps Todoroki does aim to save his brother and not kill him in this final battle. Obviously, from a standpoint of it being his brother, Todoroki wouldn't want to kill him, but at the end of the day, if push comes to shove, and if Dabi is actively trying to kill Todoroki, it would just be an act of self-defense. Given All For One's words of let's get started, I guess we are not waiting around remotely for this final act to begin, and here the hell we are. I guess from next chapter onward, we're going to see a lot of moving pieces finally take place, and subsequently, the final war is soon about to insinuate. I'm really interested to see what type of Trojan horse is going to be sent within the city of Troy. I kind of speculate it being Toga, but I guess we'll find out. If you enjoyed this video and coverage of My Hero Academia, despite me being sick if you can't tell by my voice, please let me know and drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, as it really does help out my channel. And also to boost the algorithm, if you don't have much to say about the chapter in the comment section below, let me know your favorite character of the series and why you like them. So guys, as always, be greedier, and I'll catch you all next time.